We're in chapter 3, and I want to ask you a question. James Clear talks about, he says, your habits are shaped by the systems in your life. Your habits are shaped by the systems in your life. We're forming habits that are just all over the place, right? All over the place. They're actually just not serving us. So when we take what James Clear is also saying, and we take what Gary says about willpower is not always on will call, then that means we have to have a system in order to create a good habit or break a bad habit. Listen to me, guys. We need a system, right? Oh, it's all about the systems. When I start coaching agents, they're all like, I need a system. I need a system, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you a system on how you break a bad habit or you create a good habit. And I'm writing this up here because this is in your book on page 50, right? It's on page 50. So let's think about one habit you want to create. So go back to your life cycle. Remember the life cycle we went through and you had certain numbers that were higher and lower, right? What are the habits that you wanted to create to increase that number of your life cycle to get more satisfaction in your life? So, for example, was it money? Was it physical health? Was it romance? Where was it? Where were you on the wheel of life? And where were you deficient in your mind, in your number, and you wanted to create more habits around that? So here's the thing. Let's say, and I'm just going to talk about lead generation because I like to pull everything back to business because that's why we're here this morning, right? All right. So let's talk about lead generation. Let's say that you have, I'm going to actually use something and somebody on this call is going to start laughing, but I'm going to talk about door knocking for a minute. Now you've got door knocking in your calendar. You've got it time blocked. You've got everything set aside so that you can go do it, right? And then sometimes, and I'm not just talking about one person. How many of you put it in your calendar and time block and it's there and you make time for it and then you don't do it? Raise your hand. Am I the only one? No? All right. Am I the only one? Okay, good. So we talk about that and we say, I do that with exercise, right? So the first thing we say is here on cue is we say, all right, I'm going to go door knock. Right? So I'm going door knocking. So I'm door knocking. I got it in my calendar and I'm ready to go. So the next thing that happens is we say, okay, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I mean, it's just the reality is I don't want to do it. So how do you break that? How do you break that? Well, the next thought, because here's what happens is you begin to feel stressed about it. You don't want to do it. You think of all the other things you need to do. You start having a physiological response to it. So what would happen if you changed your response here to, instead of saying, I don't want to do it, which is what you crave not to do it. Your body just doesn't want to do it. And you say here, okay, just knock 5. Just knock 5. Just 5. And then go get a latte. All right. So let's say you set up door knocking and it's right before lunch and you say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go door knock 5. And then I'm going to give myself permission to go get a venti skinny latte, double macchiato, whatever you call it. Right. So you go just knock 5. Well, after you do that, there is a response. After you say, okay, I'm just going to go knock 5, then you have the opportunity here. Your response is, I'm just going to grab my keys and go out the door. So I'm just going to knock 5. 1, and this is from Mel Robbins. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. Grab your keys and walk out the door. Don't worry about it. Don't take something with you. Don't do all of that. Just go. You don't have to take your package. Just go. You got a listing in the neighborhood. Go talk about it. So I'm just going to door knock 5. And your response to that would be, grab my keys, go. Grab keys, go. How long would it take you to door knock 5 doors? How long does it take, Joanne?
Probably like 10, 15 minutes, half an hour max, but for 5,
10 or
yeah.
15 minutes. 10 or 15 minutes. You grab your keys and you go. What's the reward? What's the reward? It's not a listing. Okay. It's not the reward.
No, it's exercise. It's feeling good, feeling motivated, feeling like you did something towards business.
Right. You did something. You started. You held yourself accountable to your calendar. You honored your calendar. The Fennec team says you accomplished something. You honored your calendar. Guys, at the end of the day, if you have a system in place that you say, okay, I don't want to go do something, which is the cue, then you say to yourself, well, what could I do? What could I do? I could just go knock 5. And then you go out and you do that. You get this lift in the serotonin levels in your body. You get this lift, you get this flood into your brain because you actually did it and you accomplished something towards that goal. What does that do for you in all of the areas of your life? What is creating a discipline around doing something that you don't want to do? How does that bleed over into the rest of your life? Somebody tell me. Come on.
Well, you're building better habits because you're forcing yourself to get out of your comfort zone. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
The more you do it, the easier it becomes. So I'm saying this about door knocking, but guys, this is about anything. This is about anything that you don't want to do. You're not craving doing it. You're craving sitting in the chair, or you're craving not tonight. I don't want to go on a date tonight with you. We got in an argument this morning. I don't want to go on a date tonight with you, right? I'm just kidding. I don't know if that's what it is, but I've worked all day. I'm tired. I don't want to go on a date if romance is what you're talking about. But here's the thing. If you have a system to change your thought process around that. So one of the things that James Clear says is he says, to create a good habit, you make it obvious and then you make it attractive. So I'm going door knocking. It's in my calendar, and it doesn't just have to be door knocking. This can be anything. I'm going door knocking. It's in my calendar. So I've made it obvious. I've cleared out everything else that I need to clear out to go do this. Now I'm going to make it attractive. Okay, I'm just going to knock 5 doors. That's it. I'm just going to go 5. That's it. Just going to go to 5, right? I make it easy. So what is one of the ways you can make it easy? Can you have your stuff pre-put together? One of my clients, I love it. She told me, she goes, I'm going door knocking today. And she showed me her door knockers, these little with her picture on it and all of her stuff. And it's just a little door hanger that she just hangs on the door. She bought 2,000 of them. So guess what she has to do when she goes door knocking? She just grabs a handful and she walks out the door. She makes it easy. She doesn't have to put something together. She doesn't have to pre-plan. She doesn't have to do all that. She just grabs it and walks out the door. So you make it easy. And then you make it satisfying. So give yourself a reward. Give yourself a reward. What's your reward for going and doing it? I'm going to go sit at Starbucks and just watch the traffic pass by for 15 minutes because the sun is finally out in Massachusetts. All right. This seems kind of trite. I know I'm kind of laughing about it, but guys, is the market changing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's always changing. So that means you're constantly having to ask yourself, this system has been working for me for the last 45, 60 days, whatever it is. What do I need to do now to respond? What do I need to do now to respond to the market? The market is shifting. I know here in Southwest Florida, it's shifting, and going after listings right now is key. So if you've got listings, and I know in Massachusetts the same way, go door knock and create relationships and get more listings.